Yo ho ho, in a bottle of rum, it's a fisherman's life for me. Oh, geez, I didn't see you guys there. Greetings, Planet YouTube, and welcome to episode 3 of ArcCraft. Got some good things lined up for today's episode. Mostly, I want to show off 4 really cool farms that we've been developing recently. Scooch and I have built an iron farm, and with the help of Hoyle Bay, we've also built a creeper farm. And then the villager breeder that we were working on before, the sorting system, as you can see in the background there, I've done quite a lot of work on that, so we're going to check that out. So we got our villager farm, and then I've also been developing a kelp farm slash fuel smelters. So we're going to check all these out. We're going to start with the kelp farm actually, and this one's not quite finished yet. As you can see, there's still a lot of structural work that needs to be done on the actual facility, but the farm itself is complete. So if we just head over here, you can see there's redstone modules. Basically, it's just a piston and an observer. The observer notices when the kelp grows and then fires the piston. As the kelp gets cut, it travels along the water jet, the water current, over onto this side where we have kind of like a tunnel that just is bringing the kelp along down this way, up through this tube right here, and it's going to head up there into that water conveyor belt down into a smelting system. Let's go up there and check that out. Just fly up here. This still needs a lot of work. Like I want to cover this all up and make it look nice. So, but in terms of functionality, it's working perfectly. So I'm very, very happy with this. So basically what happens here is the kelp passes through there, down into this hopper right here, and then into this minecart hopper. And when this thing fills up, it's going to get triggered to get sent down along this rail, and then it's going to start to fill up some smokers. I'll simulate this just getting filled up. I've got some kelp in my inventory, so let's just fill it up and then we can watch it go. There it goes, and now it's going around in a circle, and as it goes, it's just going to load these smokers under here with the kelp. So you can see the kelp's all burning up. And then we also have a way to fuel it over here. So when I come over here with fuel from my smokers, I would just drop them into this cart chest system here, flick this lever, and then it goes and fuels up all of those smokers. So that's the fueling mechanism, and all the dried kelp that we're getting is actually coming into these chests. So nice and convenient. And yeah, as you can see, we get quite a bit of kelp out of this. We get like 60% fuel efficiency out of this. The other 40% goes back into the system to keep the system operating. And then so yeah, you can see here we can just take some kelp out. Let's just take 3 stacks of kelp, throw them in the crafting table. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Like so, there we go. I kind of botched that a little bit, but you get the idea. So you just come out with as many kelp blocks as you want. You can just keep crafting kelp blocks, and then that's a great, great fuel source. So yeah, eventually I'm probably going to do a furnace array for burning glass and smelting ores in this facility as well. So that's part of the plan. We're gonna have like a cool super smelter. All right, in this area of the map, so there's my house back there, you can see, and that's the edge of Arctown. But I noticed coming out the back of my house here, there was these 3 really great islands. One here, one big one here, and then that one over there. And I thought to myself, well, I really want to experiment with some auto farms, so why don't I kind of make these the islands where I experiment with building farms? So I created this place, which I call the AFK Isles. So this is the AFK Isles construction headquarters, because I highly recommend whenever you're building big projects, you always have some kind of shelter nearby where you can sleep, where you can have extra storage and some crafting tables, furnaces, whatever you need to kind of keep the project rolling along without having to go back to your main base back and forth a million times. So I always recommend getting a little shelter. For myself, for my construction headquarters, I decided to use this sunken ship that was on the back of the island. And I just modified it so that I could have a little cabin inside. I built a crow's nest as well. So I just had some fun kind of decorating this sunken ship. If we go into the captain's cabins here, you can see I got myself a parrot. Kind of trying to live like the pirate lifestyle in here, you know. We got an Elder Guardian head. That's a pirate's or a fisherman's one of their greatest catches in Minecraft. So I figured to show that I'm a legit pirate, I should probably have an Elder Guardian head displayed. Yeah, but yeah, we got extra storage, tables, a bed, all that stuff, ender chest, and then down here actually got like a secret exit too, which is sweet. And I'm outside, and there's my conduit, and so yeah, I also installed, because I'm going to be doing a lot of construction and farming on these islands. I also installed a conduit down there and a beacon right here. So there's a beacon underground there. So I just have, haste 2 all the time and conduit power, and that's giving me the ability to just work the land a lot faster. So I'm very happy with that. Okay, if we head over this way, So I will be building more farms on that island, probably some melon farms, some cactus farms, pumpkin farms, sheep farms, that kind of stuff. If we head over this way though, this is the creeper farm, and we actually also included a sugarcane farm down here too. And the reason that we did that is because when you transfer sugarcane into paper, you create paper from sugarcane, and then you combine it with gunpowder from creepers, you get yourself firework rockets, and that's what it's allowing me to obviously fly around freely all over the world as much as I want, because we have this farm that's producing infinite firework rockets for us, so we can just fly as much as we want, which is amazing. This is the AFK area up here because the farm, the creeper part of it actually produces more gunpowder when you're high up in the sky like this. So we built this chamber up here. So yeah, this was built by Scooch, Hoyle Bay, and myself. So the three of us set out one day. We spent like 13 hours. We had all the materials ready to go in color-coded shulker boxes before we came here. And we spent 13 hours hollowing out this part of the ocean with lots of sand, and then we built all the mechanisms and creeper killing floors down below. And then we spent all this time building water elevators to transport all our farmed goods. But yeah, so those modules there, that's all sugarcane. Scooch kind of led the way on the sugarcane part of it. He did a lot of the work, but I came in towards the end and helped him finish everything off there. So if we head down here, also the sugarcane has a line coming over here transmitting the sugarcane up that elevator. If we head down here, we'll actually go into the farming part of it, the creeper farm part. So you can see right there we have some redstone clocks, and every 30 seconds or so, those redstone clocks will activate, sending a torrent of water under here. There it is, perfect timing. So as the water comes out, any creepers that have spawned on these platforms will actually get pushed out off the platforms down into the trap below. So that's kind of the objective here. When I'm down here, creepers don't spawn as often, so we might not see any creepers spawn while I'm down here. That's why we have the AFK kind of structure up top, because that's where most of the creepers are going to spawn. Then when the water disappears, as you can see, the redstone clock made the water disappear. This gives the creepers a chance to spawn, so that's why we have it timed to go on and off like that. And then if we go down to the trap below, so the creepers get pushed off the towers into these water pools here, which then filter them down into this magma block chamber. They burn up on the magma blocks and they die, and their gunpowder is transferred into these hopper minecarts, which are actually combined with the magma blocks. You can push hopper minecarts down into magma blocks with pistons, so that's how we did that. So these things pick up all the gunpowder, and then the gunpowder is transferred into this series of hoppers, which goes into this hopper line, and it is conveyed over to this elevator. It's dispensed out into the elevator, and then from that point, whoa, I'm kind of stuck here. What's going on? Oh, that was weird. Okay, yeah. So from that point, the gunpowder flies straight up the elevator. All right. So as we're coming back up to the top here, so yeah, I showed you the sugarcane, the gunpowder. They both have their own elevators to transport the items. And we also have our own elevator here too for passengers. So if you don't have Elytra and you're visiting this place, you can still get up. Um, and yeah, so we tried to make this place look like as creeperish as possible. We went with a lot of green and black. We went with concrete. Uh, we got ourselves a creeper head and we made some banners. Scooch made those banners and placed them all over the place, so that's super cool. Scooch also made a map of the area around. So this is all the ocean, and you can see this is our AFK chamber that we're in right now. That's our sugarcane farm, and that's our gunpowder on the diagonal there. So I really like that map. It's very, very cool. I like how there's nothing around, so it just makes it look really simplistic. Okay, so if we head around this way though, this is the central console, and this is where everything happens. So all of the sugarcane that's being produced is going to come up this item silo, chest silo, and land in this chest right here. So we've got a hell of a lot of sugarcane there. Same thing happens with the gunpowder. It gets transferred up in the silo and then lands in this chest here. And we also added an AFK fish farm too. So you can kind of kill two birds with one stone by AFK fishing. You just stand here and do your AFK fishing. And then all the spoils that you get from fishing land in this hopper, and then they're transmitted into their own item elevator, which gets sent into this. So any fishing spoils that you get, enchanted books, fish, anything, it's all going to land in this chest for you. So it's a really nice system just to kind of demonstrate. Yeah, we just get our stuff and we can make our firework rockets right here. So we basically just have an infinite supply of firework rockets, and we can fly infinitely, which is really, really awesome. So this is the outside of the creeper farm. We got lots more banners here. We got end rods placed all along the edges here, which is really cool. I like that design. This is all just the resource pack that I'm using that creates the end rods as black instead of white, and they don't have any tops or bottoms to them, so you can just create a solid line of end rods, which is really cool looking. And then we have the green glass down here, so you can take a look at the farms down below, which is really cool. So yeah, we're really proud of this place. We worked really hard on it, spent a lot of time. Hoyle Bay scooching myself. Okay, so let's just head back over this way. So there's the AFK Islands again. There's my pirate ship and my kelp farm. We're gonna pass by this though. I built a fishing dock, and because I kind of like the idea of being a fisherman in this world, fisherman Batman. And so I live out on the ocean. I got my fishing dock. Got some dudes here. I did some armor stand customizations. So those guys are, I think that's tropical fish there, and that's a puffer fish. So they're just wearing some mob heads and they're fishing. So that's pretty cool. This guy's going in this barrel. Maybe he's getting some fish. This guy's got a smoked salmon he's pulling out of the smoker here. So yeah, these fishermen are all busy at work doing their stuff. This guy's hanging out in the cabin with the parrot. Pretty happy with this fisherman dock that I built. And this is the Arktown banner that I created. So the idea here is that it's just a boat on the water sailing into the sunset. Pretty simple. I might experiment a little bit more and try to see if I can come up with another design, or maybe one of the other members of the server can come up with another design. But as far as this one goes, I'm pretty happy with it so far. And then obviously I have the other bat banner here, which is the bat symbol. So yeah, we got a couple banners. This is a custom tree that I built, and I also built a little tree house up there, and we got a parrot up there. And then we got a couple more parrots up on the balcony. Got a campfire, and I'm gonna head down into the pond because if you go down, sink down into the pond, this brings us to my nether portal hub room. So down here, I worked really hard to try and hide the obsidian as much as possible. I have a little bit more work to do on this side, and I want to replace the water up in that corner. But basically, this side goes straight out into the ocean, which I think is pretty sweet. And then these two sides here are just more nether portals, and all the obsidian is kind of obstructed, so it just looks like this ruinous, kind of weird portal room full of vines and mossy cobblestone and mossy bricks and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and some lanterns. So I just wanted to go with like a creepy, rundown, ancient-looking portal room, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And then from here, we can just go over here, and then this brings us right back into my basement of my house again. A couple of modifications that I wanted to show you in here though. If I before this used to be like a solid floor down here, but I decided to create an enchanting cellar. So if we go down here, this is where I'm putting all my enchanted books. So you can see we have a chest for every enchantment. Sometimes I'm putting two enchantments in a single chest, but yeah, so you can see like these are all the fortune books. These are all Smite and Bane of Arthropods. This is all Sharpness. These are all mending books right here. I got quite a lot of mending books, so I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, so I've got a nice little enchantment cellar down there. And then this is really cool too. I'm gonna just move this. If I, let's say I'm working on my anvil, adding some enchantments or naming some name tags or whatever, and then my anvil breaks. So let's just simulate that. The anvil's broken. I want another anvil. All I have to do is press this button right here, which is awesome, and it just dispenses another anvil down for me. And there's a whole stack of anvils going up that way, and I'll show you where they lead off to. So I built a chimney to hide the stack of anvils, and then I just put a fireplace at the top, which creates the smoke effect. So it's pretty cool. It doubles as a chimney and an anvil storage unit. Sadly, the anvils will not dispense out of a dispenser, so I had to come up with that workaround, and that's what I created. But it's pretty cool. Like, I mean, there's like 20 plus anvils stacked in the chimney. That's going to take a really long time to use up all those anvils, and then I can just go replace them. When I finally do run out of anvils, I'll just go up to the top and stack them up again. And then over here, I've got like a little mini stable. So I've got my nice horse and my llama, wandering trader's llama. And I'm going to get a pig with a saddle and put that as my third animal there. A couple things I wanted to show off in town, and then we'll go check out those other two farms that I was going to show. So here, this was my storefront before. I was selling books here. I stopped selling books because I want to sell really rare materials in this store. So I'm still going to sell books, but I'm also going to sell things like mob heads and record discs, fully powered beacons and conduits, so those are going to be pretty expensive. And I'm also going to be selling enchanted elytra, enchanted diamond armor, enchanted tridents. So basically, like all of the hardest things to get in the game, I'm going to try and sell in this store. Um, and it's going to require you to have a special key card to get into the store. So I've got my key card here. This is just a tester key card. I'm going to be doing a proper one later, but this is the card reader. So we just put our key card in the card reader, and then that should activate the door to the store. So this is just the storefront. There we go. We fall down here into some water, and our key card lands right in front of us. So I have it all set up so that once you place your key card in the system, you fall into the store, and your key card comes down with you so you can pick it up again for your next visit. So I haven't added the shelving units or the countertops or any of the item displays or chests and things, but I'm going to be filling this whole floor up with all kinds of different storefronts selling the different goods. At this end is where I'm going to be selling the conduits and the beacons. So I already have the beacon display set up here, fully powered beacon. And on this side, I have a fully powered conduit. So I had to fill this whole tank up with water, and then I built the fully powered conduit in there as well. So we got the conduit and the beacon store displays set up, and I will be selling the conduits and the beacons plus all the other things I was talking about. We're going to add into this area here. So we got a pretty cool beginning to this store. It's something I'm going to be finishing off pretty soon, and then I'll do the grand opening for the store soon. So I'm excited for that. And then this is the exit over here. So once you're done shopping, you just pop up here, and then you're back in the town. I'm going to be building like a little exit house around this, so you'll come up out here and then you'll just kind of like walk out an iron door, and you won't be able to get back in this way. So this is an exit only. If you want to go back in, you have to go in the front entrance with your key card. We're starting to fill up some of these houses with different enchanted villagers, which is awesome. So we got some Unbreaking 3 here, Efficiency 5 over here. This is a lot of Scooch's hard work, which is awesome of Scooch. Silk Touch right here. So yeah, we have Mending over there. So we're definitely getting some really nice enchantments from our villager system, which is sweet. Then I'm going to show off the community center. So anytime a new player spawns into the world, they will in fact appear in the community center in these walls every single time. So they'll be safe if they come at night and they don't have any armor or any food. They won't have to worry about getting attacked by mobs or not having any protection. They can sleep in here. They can use all these tables to enchant stuff and craft stuff and smelt stuff. And here's all the mailboxes for everyone. People are starting to design their own banners and hang their banners next to their mailboxes, which is pretty cool. Got a dragon egg on display out here. This is the central spawn square of the world. So any items that come from the end portal and spawn into the overworld are going to land right here. So we decided to designate that with a special beacon and a diamond um, little plateau area here. So yeah, the community center, pretty happy with this place. We might do some other tweaks. Those chests over there are just going to contain like starting items for new players, so like stacks of food, stacks of logs, maybe some basic weapons and armor, that kind of stuff. And then I stocked up these furnaces and smokers with lots of dried kelp blocks from my kelp farm. And we got a music disc player here with some records. Eventually, I'm going to get all the records in there. So yeah, nice little community center. And we are going to be getting some new players in the future. So anytime they drop into the world, they'll just appear right there. So this up here is our iron farm. And we built it right over Arktown. And the reason we built it over Arktown is because we spawned in Arktown. So this is like within the spawn chunks, which means that it's always going to stay loaded for us, no matter where we are in the world. Even if we're nowhere near Arktown, the iron farm is still going to be operating as long as someone is online playing in this world, which is amazing because this chunk will always stay loaded, which means we're producing absolutely insane volumes of iron, like way too much iron. See that whole chest silo over there? There's over 20 chests, and they're all entirely filled up with iron. Iron golems, when they die, they produce iron ingots and poppies as well. So I have a item sorting filter set up here, which will separate the iron from the poppies, and I'll go down and show you that in a second. But if we access those chests down there, they're all separated nicely for us. And then the excess, because we do get quite a bit of excess from this farm. As I was saying, we produce way too much iron here. All the excess is going to get sent down this line and then dispensed into that lava block right there, which basically means we're not going to be lagging the server with an unnecessary amount of items just sitting around. It was a crazy process getting all the villagers up here. I think there's something like 30 villagers up here. So we used this water elevator in the center to get them all up and over. We're going to tear that down. We're going to build some walls and a ceiling and make this place look a lot better eventually. But you can see down here, there's a zombie riding that minecart. He's wearing a phantom mask actually, which is pretty awesome. So this zombie goes around this cart track and he stops at all these stations where these villagers are stationed. And when he gets to a villager station, he scares the villagers. And the conditions are just right so that when the villagers get scared, they'll produce an iron golem. As you can see right there, an iron golem spawned. He's falling down the trap, and now he lands right in that lava pocket, and eventually he will die, and his iron will get sent down this water conveyor belt all the way up into this item silo. But yeah, so I built this sorter up there, and then we can just come over here and we can see this is entirely filled with poppies. This is entirely filled with iron. We can go in the crafting table and just convert all the iron into iron blocks. So that just makes it easier for condensing the iron and taking more out of the system. We're producing more iron than we could ever possibly use, which I'm very, very happy about. So I can't complain too much, you know. Okay, so let's head over here now. And this is the last thing I wanted to show off today. So I showed this a little bit in the first episode of ArcCraft, but basically I'm going to insert a cart into this shulker box here, and that should call forth a villager for us. So as you can see, the cart disappeared, and that click that you just heard was it dispensing into a water stream. It's getting carried over to the villager breeder, and it's going to get dispensed again onto a mine track, rail track rather, and then it's going to get sent through the villager breeder, pick up a villager along the way, and then come down this line with a villager. So we should be seeing that momentarily. It takes maybe 20 or 30 seconds, but the villager will appear here momentarily. I used to just have a button that I would push to call a villager, and a minecart would come with a villager every single time, but eventually the system will run out of minecarts that way, and if people aren't replacing them properly, then we won't have enough minecarts basically. So if we get the trade that we want, then we can send him over to Arctown. So we just hit the Arctown button, he gets sent over into town, and he gets placed over in a little lobby area where we can then move him into any one of the houses that we like. So that's pretty sweet. But let's say we trade with him a whole bunch and he doesn't have a trade that we want. So let me get another villager here. All right, great. So here comes our next villager. Sorry, buddy, but well, I'm sending you to the kill floor. So he's gonna get sent along this rail up into a tower up above, and let's just watch. Beautiful. Oh man, I love that. Took me quite a bit of tinkering to perfect that design, but I'm really, really happy with the results. And if we look over here, the cart's right there waiting for us. So basically, I have a cart deposit system, so it lands in those hoppers. As the villager dies, the cart lands down here too, lands in the hoppers, and is transported all the way into this chest. So when you're done, if you decide to kill the villager, you'll get your minecart back, and then you can go and call another villager, which is pretty cool. We're going to call one more villager because I want to show off the third option here as well, which is the utility hatch. So if I go head over here, we actually need a boat for this. So I'm going to cut it here, and I'll be back in 1 sec with the boat. All right, so we got our boat, and we got our villager all set up. We called our third villager. Okay, so if I head over here, what we're going to do is we're going to place the boat in this dropper right here. And once we push the button, that'll send the boat into the system, and it should dispense right out in front of us for us here. Beautiful. So I have it so that it dispenses right under where the villager is going to be, so that when I come and push the utility button right here, bam, that'll send the villager along the line up into the utility hatch, and he'll pop out right into the boat for us. Now, it does take a moment for the villager to snap into the boat. They like to struggle a little bit, but I haven't lost a villager yet. They always seem to snap in at some point. It's just a matter of how long it takes for them to snap. Da, ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. There we go. Ba, 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 ba. So yeah, after a while, the villager does finally snap into place in the boat, and then we can just hop in the boat and we can carry him off. And so, yeah, as you can see, we just have a villager in a boat, nice and easy to transport anywhere we want in the world. I can take him across the ocean to another continent. I can take him over to my house. I can take him up into the sky, into the iron farm, for example. So the utility hatch is actually quite useful for just transporting villagers around the world. So yeah, we have the three buttons, one to send them to Arctown, one to kill them, and then one to place them into the boat where we can literally take them anywhere we want, which is super, super cool. I think that pretty much wraps it up for today's episode of ArcCraft. Um, I had a lot of fun showing off all the farm designs that we have going. We definitely have some more awesome farm ideas in the works. We're going to be building a guardian farm and a gold farm. And now that the Buzzy Bees update is finally out, I'm going to be updating to 1.15 after this video, actually. And then I will be working on a bee farm as well. So I'm very, very excited for that. But yeah, thank you guys for checking in on ArcCraft episode 3, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked it, please feel free to subscribe, comment, like, share, all that awesome stuff, and I'll catch you guys in episode 4. All right, guys, Kilson out. Peace.